Up next, we have Mr. Guillermo Guimaraes. He is the co-founder of Phronesis. Mr. Guillermo is here today to shed light on the era of generative AI. By having a strong background in electrical engineering and data science, he developed a strong passion for blockchain technology. He's been involved in creating technologies that contribute greatly in the blockchain community for a few years now. Everyone, please put your hands together in a huge, huge round of applause for Mr. Guillermo.
Blockchain and AI. Right now, blockchain has been in the market for the last 14, 15 years and has been proven as a really well-designed tech which has helped us in terms of transfer, security, and management in different areas, supply chain, banking systems, DeFi. But also, we have also in the artificial intelligence area, which has been also a long time, but in the last 2 years have been presented as astronomical acceleration in terms of advancement, such as great tools that we have nowadays as ChatGPT, generative images, and other areas that are well managed on that. Now, what we are seeing at the moment is that blockchain itself can be improved, can be increased in terms of how efficient it can be, how fast it can produce transactions, how fast it can produce a new level of efficiency in terms of transaction speed, TPS, and other factors. This is what brings us to Phronesis. Phronesis itself has been, this controller? Sorry. Oops, this one. Here. This is what brings us to Phronesis. Phronesis basically conveys the utilization of artificial intelligence inside the consensus algorithm. We are the first layer 1 blockchain that is EVM compatible, is proof of stake, which also integrates our own proprietary tech, which is the Sophia consensus mechanism, which is an AI statistical consensus mechanism that applies deep learning in all the structures within. Also, we work with an indirect low-fee management system, which also controls the fees and how fast they can increase. Now, the tech behind. We have Sophia, the consensus mechanism. This was done directly through the management of different types of nodes. Right now, we work in a hard fork way, where basically the blockchain system works as a node. They don't care about the computational power anyone holds. They just care that there's a node that was created and it needs to produce a number of transactions in a block. Now, with block harnessing technology and the differentiation of different types of nodes, as we determined in terms of supernodes, fast nodes, and average nodes, now we can have a way to analyze and to understand how many transactions can actually a block hold. That way we can keep metrics like 0.9 seconds in terms of time to finality to complete a transaction. And also we can keep a certain number of gas cost that keeps it in a minimum number. Now, this is done through deep learning mechanisms, which basically understands and periodically makes a differentiation between how many transactions and the volume of transactions each number has. For example, if we use a common market project as Uniswap, it is heavily congested. It requires a very high volume of transactions. It will be determined as a supernode, which basically holds all the information, all the transactions, and it gives up to a cost of 0.00001 per transaction, while also keeping a time to finality of 0.9 seconds. Now, this also is complemented by an indirect LTFM protocol, which basically is a low transaction fee management protocol. This is done by machine learning training systems, where initially it will be trained directly with our testnet, but later on, since users begin to use it more and more, it gets more training experience and understands, for example, the functionalities of a node. How, for example, a node can stress it enough at 1,000 transactions. Maybe another node can make 5,000 transactions per second. And those are balanced out and also distributed in different areas. Also, as an additional way to also maintain the memory pools algorithm in place, We also implemented what will be the login transactions protocol, which a certain number of login transactions, if we may call it that way, will be processed by a block no matter what. Obviously, under certain conditions and rules the different nodes validators will have to avoid any kind of exploits, but to have a different way to also reduce the mempool system and at the same time to work directly in any way for low transactions. Now, what makes Phronesis Phronesis? Right now, we are not only a blockchain itself, but also a way to see the real world on how it goes. Right now, we are tackling different sectors. We understand that the real world needs real businesses. Right now, we are focusing on the gaming one. But also, to have a real world business, we need an infrastructure. Without an infrastructure, you can work. So right now, we have built what will be a whole ecosystem, which includes a decentralized exchange, holds directly a cross-chain bridge, and of course, also a direct wallet to our new chain. This all to facilitate the developer systems and how they can interact and create a new user base on our blockchain without much complications. The node validation reward. Right now, it is an EVM-based block validation system. Basically, at the beginning, we are going directly with a negative logarithmic system, negative logarithmic function, where it rewards heavily the first nodes validators that will be on the market. Later on, what we are trying to do is directly to, through side projects that were developed on the real-world business, let's say gaming, real estate, finance, banking, derivatives of the chain of Phronesis, we'll provide a different kind of substitution to this in order to make it sustainable in the long term and to avoid any kind of inflation. Now, Phron is the fuel that will gather all that Phronesis holds. Basically, it will be the coin that will provide you the way to create a node validator and also the way to make you transact inside the chain, interact with the ecosystem, and also our in-house projects and multiple projects that are built on top of it. That way, you can also participate, create part of it, and also be part of a business at the same time. Basically, what can bring Phronesis to the world? We are talking at the moment that gaming is one of the sectors we are tackling. That's our first point before. Right now, gaming is having some sort of monopolized system, which can be completely decentralized in some way. Before we had, for example, a disk. We could lend it, throw it away, give it to a friend. Right now, we are stuck in a platform where they don't let you to hold anything. They don't let you to move anything. Right now, we have a privacy system, a piracy system that basically destroys the world for the developer. Right now, developers are at risk of having piracy issues. Now, with blockchain, we can allow you to have your game being held directly in nodes, stored in nodes. That way, no one can erase any part of code that could make your proprietary game to be destroyed in some way or another. You need a key. The key will be an NFT. And this NFT will allow you to play the game, to interact with it. The same with NFT in-game items. So in some way, it gives the devs the right to have their own game and to be able to sell it or distribute it, and also the users to have ownership again, which is a right that has been lost in the last couple of years. From the gamepad, basically a very good marketplace we have developed in different areas of gaming, different sectors, and it's going to portray what is currently a new version of marketplaces around the world in terms of gaming. Right now, as mentioned before, they were really strict without the way developers do. So what we do bring in this part is mainly this. Now, in terms of the chain itself, everything that needs to be done will be done on top of this chain, which is currently the fastest layer 1 EVM blockchain of the world, providing a 0.9-second time to finality transaction, and also through the conveying and converging of AI technology, which is booming nowadays in the combination with blockchain.